focus on the United States and the shocking shooting incident that's taken place in Minneapolis. Now, it's an immigration agent who was caught on camera shooting a woman in a car, wherein the ICE agent guns down woman. 3 shots is what we've learnt of. Cops claim the woman had weaponized her very vehicle. A woman was shot and killed by a U.S. immigration agent in Minneapolis on Wednesday, setting off protests and deepening tensions over the Trump administration's aggressive immigration crackdown. You can hear people already, in fact, being shocked in terms of reactions that came in right at the very site where the shootout took place. The 37-year-old was inside her car when the ICE approached her and started driving away when the shooting happened during a surge of federal immigration enforcement in the city. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey strongly rejected claims from the administration that the agent acted in self-defense, saying video of the incident tells a very different story. Speaking bluntly at a press conference, Frey accused federal agents of bringing chaos to Minneapolis and told the ICE to leave the city, while also calling on residents to stay calm amid these circumstances. Woman shot dead by the ICE agent in Minneapolis. That's our top focus of this very hour. Let's quickly take a look at this very footage that's come to light, which shows us the sequence of how things unfolded at this very point.
What did you do? No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my God! What the? What the? You just. What did you do? No! No! Shame!
I say that he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's very clear that this individual was harassing and impeding law enforcement operations. Our officer followed his training, did exactly what he's been taught to do in that situation, and took actions to defend himself and defend his fellow law enforcement officers. The officer was hit by the vehicle. She hit him. He went to the hospital. A doctor did treat him. He has been released, but he's going to spend some time with his family.
So viewers, this is what we are keeping a track of at this given point of time. Now remember, there's an entire probe that's been launched into this very case to understand what indeed provoked such a extreme reaction from the ICE agent. You can see 3-4 officers around the car, and the car in fact trying to maneuver itself and leave that very spot. Now it's that very moment which is being put under scrutiny to understand, was there indeed such a threat where this woman had weaponized the car to run down the agent? And even if that was the case, was it indeed required to fatally shoot her thrice? And from what it's being understood, one of the shots was even at her very face. So it's a brutal killing that's taken place at this given point of time in Minneapolis. Now, Rohit Sharma joins us on the broadcast to bring us more details on this very particular bit, the incident that's taken place. Rohit, just want to understand what exactly went down here before we proceed into an in-depth analysis of what went, in fact, into this attack.
So it's really unfortunate what unfolded in Minneapolis today. Minnesota has been in news for various reasons recently, with the fraud that we've seen with one particular community that has been embroiled in a lot of controversy. And then, President Trump decided to make sure that the Homeland Security agents go to Minnesota and try to arrest as many as criminal illegal aliens as possible. And what unfolded this morning was that ICE agents were on the streets, and this lady apparently was trying to leave, or was asked by the agents to leave and not bother them. And then when she was trying to do a maneuver after getting in some kind of confrontation with these agents, what we've seen on the video and what we've shown to everybody is that she was shot. Unfortunately, she lost her life. This was a 37-year-old white lady that lost her life this morning. And, that kind of, helps Democrats in the sense that they have been saying this for more than a year now, that aggressive immigration policy, especially the agents on the streets, taking aggressive measures could lead to something like this. And that's what we're seeing a lot of protesters come out on the street protesting the act of which some people are calling was uncalled for from the agents. So we'll have to wait and watch, what where investigation leads to. But at this point in time, I think it has been called by Democrats a pretty aggressive move. And President Trump issued a message in saying that this lady was at fault. Secretary Noem came back and said, she did 2 press conferences, and the other one that she ended up saying that that this lady was trying to run over the agent. And I think Governor Tim Walz has said that he wants a full investigation into what had unfolded today. So really unfortunate. But yes, I think President Trump's immigration policy has been cushioned by a lot of people, especially by the Democrats, and it will be, continuing in that sense that President Trump always double downs with whenever there's an incident like this. So I don't think he's going to change course. But what we could see is that Democrats could use this as a major talking point in a year when they will go to polls for the midterms in November 2026.
With that, Pranay Upadhyay joins us on the broadcast as well to, in fact, bring us more information into this. Pranay, we just got a detailed account of what exactly went down. Now, the bigger question here is of security, whether this was indeed called for, the attack that we saw, or rather in self-defense as well, if we are to look at it that way. Were 3 shots indeed required to tackle a woman who was in a car, and a fatal, that to shoot her fatally at this given point of time where she loses her life because of what they thought that she'd weaponized her car?
That remains a question of the investigation, Shreya, here, because, the ICE action has long been questioned, not only by the Democrats, but even by the wider public, that do we know this kind of, do we actually require this kind of a law enforcement? Because in last 1 year, if you see, there have been 4 deaths reported in the United States because of the actions taken by the ICE in terms of chasing people, in terms of catching people. And in fact, the data reflects that there have been around 25 deaths in ICE custody. So this clearly shows that, the ICE action is not only being questioned, it is being challenged in US courts. And now with these incidents, this clearly give more fuel to these allegations that these ICE enforcement have actually become a very brutal and a very cruel action, because and now critics are asking for the video footage, that if the allegation being leveled by Kristi Noem, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, and in fact the ICE authorities, that she was weaponizing her weapon, where is the video evidence of that? And do we actually, does ICE does not, they don't have any measure, any authority or any mean with which they can contain that woman, they can actually stop that woman. Was that so required to have to use a weapon against a woman who was driving in an SUV? So clearly these are the questions which are under investigation, and there are widespread criticism in the United States for the ICE action, and now that will add to the court challenging of the ICE action. However, President Donald Trump, who has deployed ICE, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, to take action against the illegal immigrants. And we know that, as Rohit was also referring, that in Minnesota, he is targeting especially the Somali immigrants and the widespread immigration challenge and problem in the United States.
Absolutely. When we're speaking of immigration in the United States, there is, or rather crackdown on immigration in the United States, there is a lot that's happening even at this point of time as we speak. But if our focus is on this particular story from Minneapolis, let me just quickly take our viewers, Pranay, through this very footage that's been captured on camera of the incident playing out.